Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen with a 3.3.0 live patch notes and new features summary. The biggest addition to the patch, in my opinion, is the implementation of OCS, or Client-Side Object Container Streaming, and asynchronous background spawning. This is a technical milestone for the project, probably the largest that Star Citizen has hit to date. It allows for intelligent streaming of required assets in-game, giving users significantly higher frame rates, less RAM usage, more efficient use and scaling of CPUs, and other optimizations too. There are also various performance tweaks that they've made to 3.3 for the patch. In addition to OCS, that will help as well. The game should run much better across a range of PC hardware and setups now. VoIP and FOIP, so face over IP and voice over IP. We'll talk a little bit about groups and the additions there as well. Settings can be accessed for these features via the COM setting options menu, including basic options and webcam facial calibration, along with options to enable head look tracking. To check if VoIP is active, open the COM section of the mobiGlas and be sure the microphone icon is enabled. VoIP requires you to push to talk, and this by default is numpad plus, and this will allow you to broadcast to party members, proximity area if in global chat, or via direct calls if someone has phoned you via your mobiGlas by pressing the little symbol on the bottom right by their name. A selfie camera can be activated to check on VoIP behavior using numpad minus, and you can quick calibrate your camera using the numpad star key. It is recommended that you rebind these keys to whatever is comfortable. That recalibrate key is really good because you will be recalibrating your camera if you move your head in an odd way or you change the way you're sitting. I've got a guide on VoIP and FOIP, which I will link down below for people that want to set that up correctly. I will also update that with some extra tips at some point in the next couple of days. There's also been numerous updates to grouping and chat services, including a new visor chat interface. Players can create their own chat on the comms, mobiGlas, and tab between different chats, i.e. global and party, on the visor. Quantum travel updates, so quantum route planning. The star map now has route planning functionality to use. Plot a final destination via the star map, and this can be any destination, including an outpost or a mission location. Routing will then automatically display a series of quantum jumps along with the fuel required. Players will still have to calibrate and spool their drives by pressing B, but after each jump, they will automatically be presented with the next destination in the route without needing to open their star map. The quantum interface has been updated to support this functionality with the set route and clear route buttons, and go to current location appears as a crosshair. The quantum drive now performs according to its power state, including faster spooling and calibration based on power and the ability to be overclocked. If you press B though, you will just calibrate faster. Quantum drives now have a maximum range per jump that varies depending on the size of the drive. When starting a linked quantum jump, the party list will now only show who started the jump with you. And there's been some fuel updates to quantum travel as well. Ships can now initiate a quantum travel to a destination they do not have enough fuel to reach, which is communicated on the HUD to you though. You can still initiate the travel, but you will run out of fuel on the way there, so bear that in mind. Some gameplay and location changes. So they've added Teach's ship shop to Levski on Delamar. This is reached through an elevator in the customs area, and it's clearly signposted. You can purchase ships using Alpha UEC there. Approach a ship or a vehicle you like, and then, just like you would an item in a shop, hold F, and you can purchase it like that. Ships on the shop floor can be opened and explored, but they can't be flown. Obviously, when you buy them, they are added to your ships that you can spawn. All purchased ships are recoverable on insurance as well now. It is assumed that ships bought with Alpha UEC and Alpha UEC itself will be reset with every major patch at least until a future release when they go, no more resets, but that is a ways off yet. They have removed all Cry Astro stations and services there, and they've done some changes here. So rest stop locations are going to start to be more prevalent in the verse. You can go to CRUL2 on the star map, which is a collection of asteroids with a rest stop location there as well. They've added the repair, refuel, rearm functionality previously associated with Cry Astro to all station landing pads, so Paul Olosar, Levski, Grimhex, that sort of stuff, and rest stops have this functionality as well. Repair Mobiglass function no longer automatically pops up, and you'll need to manually load up the service app to choose any services that you want. They've added Recco Battaglia, a new mission giver, a former miner. Recco can be found in the side hall on the lower floor at Levski and organise resource needs for the base. So you'll get some missions based around that. They added scramble race style missions. So scramble races are death races using ships in space or using vehicles, the Urza Cyclone, or grav bikes, Nox and Dragonfly on moons. Races use a checkpoint system with each player who shoots ships or moves near or over a checkpoint in a vehicle, accruing points towards a victory. Additionally, players can destroy race leaders to gain their points. Races have a registration period after accepting the mission, giving some time for others to register, and a travel period for players to make their way to the start line. Planetary surface races are located reasonably close to outposts for ease of travelling to them, and then spawning a vehicle there, and then being able to get to the start line like that. They have added missions which are based on FPS combat AI to go to Security Post Korea and clear them out. They've also updated SPK, Security Post Korea, with new props, new geometry, and updated lighting there. They've updated delivery missions to include a new delivery locker system to expand locations and functionalities, as well as updated and polished pick-up and drop-off deliveries at outposts as well. They've reduced the rate of interdiction to add more of a rare feel to it, which I think a lot of people will be happy about. Mining updates. So asteroid mining. Mineable resources can now be found in the asteroid belts around Yela and Delamar. These can be exploited with a prospector. They've changed mining power graphs to reflect power transfer per time. They've added a visual shaking effect to mining to help indicate the optimal range. The mining overcharge and danger bar should now fill faster the greater danger you're in. Extraction throughput while mining is now based on how long the beam hits the same location for without being moved. Instability while mining can now be lowered by holding the laser steady on the same point. They've reworked the way instability and resistance is calculated for mineable rocks. When mineable rocks fracture, their constitute ore will be unevenly divided. The broken up chunks of mineable rocks should now have a radar icon when outside of the range of outlining. They've updated the mining resource quantities to create a thinner spread of high yields. They faded central elements of the mining UI slightly to allow for better visibility, and they've added new mineable materials to refinery kiosks and rebalanced commodity trade routes. So some ships and vehicles updates. They added the Constellation Phoenix, the Aegis Hammerhead Corvette gunboat, which is awesome, and the Anvil Valkyrie, as well as the Cyclone variants, the TR, AA, and RC. So the TR is the turreted version that has a rear gunner position meant for sort of like shooting infantry and ground vehicles. The AA has missiles and an EMP for dealing with threats from above, and the RC is the racing variant with boost functionality. They've updated some functionality and items in the game as well for ships. Coolers now use power and perform according to power and can be overclocked. Turret gyro stabilization can now be toggled via an interaction node as well as the G hotkey. Power target level can now be set independently for each item on the ship via the MFDs, allowing them to manually over or under power. There's been a complete rework of the Mustang series as well, which I actually really like. Some people don't, but I think they're awesome. They changed and reallocated support screen distribution on the Constellation series. They suppressed collision warnings for vehicles in hover mode to avoid excessive audio spam. They removed aim assist from turrets. Default loadouts have been redone on the following ships and their variants: Gladius, Retaliator, Sabre, Hornet, Hurricane, Terrapin, Mustang, Buccaneer, Cutlass, Dragonfly, Herald, Merlin, Prospector, Reliant, Starfarer, 300 series, 85X, Aurora series, Constellation, Nox, and Car2 Owls. But they will continue to balance loadouts for these ships in the future. They've increased the damage of all ship cannons and lowered their fire rate, increased their heat generation, and swapped many to autocannons that fire automatically when you hold the button down and more rapidly. Mass drivers and scatterguns have remained semi-automatic, so literally every click of the mouse after their cooldown period. They've updated heat and power MFDs. They've removed some of the scratches on cockpit canopy interiors of the Terrapin. They've refactored item overheat behavior and overheat warning systems. They've added landing gear compression to the 85X. They've added a scroll bar to the MFDs. They've increased the afterburner velocity of the Hurricane. They've added landing gear compression to the Freelancer. They've improved the headlights of most ships and will continue to improve the headlights further. They've balanced the power draw of the mining laser to require some degree of power management, and they significantly increased the health and regen of size 3 shields. Some shopping and item improvements. They've expanded item previews for shopping kiosks and the Mobiglass. Kiosks, the PMA and the VMA, the Personal Manager app and Vehicle Manager app, all now have functional item previews. The Kastak Arms assault rifle, the Kana, has also been added. It's available at Livewire and Scutter's stores. They've added the Herson Dynamics Dominance and Attrition series of ship weapons, available in size 1 to 3. The Dominants are high-quality scatterguns that fire more pellets the more heat they've built up. The Attrition series are size 1 to 6 and are laser repeaters that deal higher damage via increased fire rates the hotter they get. Both weapons can be purchased at Grimhex Dumpers Depot. Arena Commander update. So they've added Arena Commander in-game rental systems. So within Arena Commander's menu, players can now rent ships direct from the client. They rebalanced rec rewards and rental costs. They temporarily removed the ability to customize and or remove items from rented ships. And they changed the rental timer to a static timer that starts at the time of rental and lasts 3 days. Some other updates. They updated the RSI Odyssey flight suit base design. This is the default undersuit that you have when you start the game. They added sliders for general mouse and mouse aim down sight sensitivity. They slowed down and polished AI stair locomotion. They replaced Levski elevators with a revamped system. The transit systems are actually looking pretty good and stable now. They added motion warping to allow sliding during vaulting depending on the object and destination. They polished and smoothed one-handed and two-handed place and pickup animations. They updated pistol, stock, and shouldered inspect poses. They added a blue light to spin animations for the F-55. Players can now enter interaction mode while inspecting a weapon. Refinements and improvements to FPS weapon recall have been made. They sped up the animations of the lean mechanic. Tweaks to the level of protection provided by personal armor have been made. Recoil and sway passes on the Gallant energy rifle have been done. They've updated numerous basic locomotion animations. They've smoothed FPS movement and sway in and out of aim down sights. They've updated the notification system with a new overall icon and new event specific icons, including the ability to dismiss the alert. They've removed F11 and right alt menus and function. Some bugs and technical stuff as well. There was a slew of bug fixes that turned up and were fixed during Evocati to PTU to live for this patch. I'll highlight and summarize the more important ones. They fixed multiple client crashes. NPCs should no longer get stuck trying to use an object. There's fixes for desync between client and server when respawning after suiciding. Watermelons have returned to Echo 11 minus their crash-causing behavior. A huge range of fixes for the 600i have been made. Ammo pickups in Arena Commander should now function properly. MFD should now also be functioning properly. Fixes to mission and mission giver accessibility and quest completion. The player ship target should now clear after it's been removed. There's loads of ship and vehicle fixes. AI behavior fixes have been made. Ship debris should now inherit the parent ship's velocity. Player footprints should no longer appear facing the wrong direction near the poles of planetary bodies as well. And that's it for the patch notes. However, turrets have been improved significantly and tweaked. It's the mixture of the higher frame rate. They have made general improvements to them, and the gyro stabilization really helps. They're still not perfect, but they are much more usable. And because of that, you'll see a lot of people's content actually going out in capital ships and the ships with turrets and that sort of stuff, and flying around and shooting each other. Some other bits and pieces. Typically, you want to delete your user folder. That's going to help. though save any key bindings before you do that and then put them back in if you've got like key bindings for your TOTAS and all that sort of jazz. If you were playing on the PTU as well, you can actually run the live game launcher and then close it after it starts to update. So literally just close it. No, don't want to install it. And then you copy the contents of your PTU folder over to the live folder, and then you can update from the live launcher again for a significantly quicker download. I'll link the full patch notes and FAQ down below. I did forget to include some major known issues with the patch, which I'll do now. Players will have to enable VoIP manually in the Mobiglass comms when joining a server, but doing so might introduce some instability. Mission markers no longer appear after using crash recovery, and turrets without gyro stabilization enabled may not move as intended. Potentially, we could have some micro patches for this, fixing those issues, but they are obviously working on 3.3.5 now, which is in the Evocati phase. But tell me in the comments below, are you really excited for 3.3? Are you waiting off until 3.3.5 has actually gone live? How are you waiting for 3.4? Are you disappointed with some of the features that have moved out of 3.4? I'll get a load of different videos up for 3.3, quick start guides, roadmap updates, and all that sort of jazz as well over the next few days, so bear that in mind. If you don't have Star Citizen yet, be sure to create an account with the links below to receive 5,000 UEC, the in-game currency, as a bonus, and to participate in any free flight. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For November, I am giving away a Saber Raven, Star Citizen game package, and a CitizenCon 2948 digital goodies pack. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details below. If you would like to further support the channel, the links to my Patreon and donations are down in the description below as well. If you are considering getting or upgrading your gaming PC for Star Citizen or any other game for that matter, instead consider the Shadow Cloud gaming service. It's a subscription-based service that leverages your internet connection to turn any appropriate device, whether it be an old PC, smartphone, tablet, and more, into a powerful Windows 10 gaming PC. It's been working well in the latest 3.3.0 PTU patch of Star Citizen. I'm going to try and maintain a best practices guide on my website as well. More information is available in the links below, and if you do decide to try it, use the code BoredGamer to get a discount. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the verse.